What's going on, everyone? Phil here for KO Gaming, and let's turn the clock back a bit to E3 of 2015. At the Microsoft press conference, there was a huge announcement. Not only would a major AAA game release be getting modifications on a console rather than just PC, it was actually going to be Fallout 4, and Xbox One would be getting the upper hand when it came to the release window of modifications, while PlayStation 4 gamers would have to wait a little bit longer. Now, this was a semi-huge announcement because previously, mods were a huge part of gaming on the PC, including games such as The Elder Scrolls and Fallout, all those tried and true Bethesda game IPs. However, they had always been exclusive to the PC, and for the first time now, console gamers were going to be able to entertain them. Well, I'll be honest here, I actually kind of danced on the fence of whether or not I was going to get the Xbox or the PlayStation version of Fallout 4. In the end, I ended up getting an advanced review copy on the Xbox One, so it all worked out nicely. This week, those mods finally released, and today I had a chance to check them out. And in fact, last night on social media, knowing that I was going to be checking out these mods today, I actually asked my viewers and fans, what are the best mods for Fallout 4 right now, and what can I expect? And I got 3 overwhelmingly common responses: Gorillas, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Big Titties. Yeah. So today, when I played Fallout 4 and checked out the mods, we got Gorillas, we got Macho Man Randy Savage, and we got Big Titties. Alright, so those are some of the weirder things that I found today, but there was a lot more to talk about in regards to mods, so let's take a look together, shall we? First off, 2 things to note. You're going to need to install a patch to Fallout 4 on the Xbox One if you haven't yet. It's around 400 to 500 megabytes in size. In addition, you need to register on Bethesda.net before you try to use mods on the Xbox One because you need to log in order to access the new section of your menu. But once you do log in, you never have to do it again, so it's pretty easy to do. It's a new section entirely in the main menu of Fallout 4. You click on mods and it'll bring up this nicely sorted area where you'll get cool little thumbnails for each mod available. You'll have things such as the best of all time, the best of this week, the highest user rated, and then it'll start sorting by category, things like buildings, character appearances, animals, weapons, etc. And I really did like this menu system and thought that it was pretty easy to use. However, it is important to note, it did have a few hiccups. I actually heard that earlier this week, the menu system wasn't working at all and people were actually getting kicked off of the Bethesda servers. However, I didn't really have that experience today. What I did have issue with was that some of the thumbnails weren't loading and therefore I couldn't see what I was actually going to get with the mod. After backing completely out and re-entering the mod section, it seemed to fix the issue. So also, although there's a few little road bumps still in place, it wasn't too much of an issue for me. Using mods on the Xbox One is incredibly simple. After a quick download, that mod will automatically be enabled, so if you load any save game from Fallout 4 that you already have, or if you start a brand new game, that modification will be activated. Now, you can just deactivate that mod straight from the same tab where you actually downloaded the file, so it's really easy. But one pro tip, I strongly recommend that you favorite any mods that you download, so that way you have an easy access menu in the mods area, rather than skimming around saying, oh man, what was that mod that I had and I installed? You don't want it to be too confusing. In addition, there's actually a load order menu in the mod section. Now, what that means is the order that those mods are going to be booted up while your save game is being loaded. For most of them, it doesn't really affect anything, and I'll be honest, I had about a 95% success rate installing multiple mods at the same time, but there was 1 or 2 that did not work, and it actually states in the description of certain mods, you must boot them last in order for them to work. You gotta be a little tricky with those, but for the most part, it's pretty simple and straightforward. One important note is that you can only have 2 gigabytes of mods at any time. Some mods are very much larger than others. For example, there was one mod that was some kind of blood textures that I noticed was around 300 to 400 megabytes, and I said, well, knowing that I know I only have 2 gigs, I probably don't want to use that one at this time. However, I was happy to find that most mods were incredibly small, some of which not even as big as a megabyte, and by the time that I had booted up maybe 8 to 10 mods, I don't even think I had more than a few megabytes used, so for the most part, it's going to be pretty tough to fill up 2 gigs unless someone's coming out with some really huge modifications in the future. Now that we're through with all of that, let's get to the good stuff, the mods that I actually tried out. First of all, huge freaking weapons. Insanely oversized, cartoonishly large. I mean, these things looked like they were one of the specialty weapons from Dark Souls. It was pretty out of control, swinging a giant anchor and a huge fire hydrant pipe bat around, and it was quite satisfying, especially when some of the enemies I were fighting were legendary level, and even though I'm not even a melee build, I was able to beat them within 1 or 2 swings. Definitely a good mod. I got a new water mod that was supposed to make the water textures look different. I'll be honest, I didn't really notice too much of a difference, so that wasn't too much of a big one. However, another one that was quite useful was one that allowed you to have dog meat and other followers at the same time. One of the major gripes of people with Fallout 4 was that unlike Fallout New Vegas, if you had a canine companion, you could not have an additional human companion. This mod fixes that, and it really worked well. It was pretty cool. One of the mods that I picked actually allowed you to have a deathclaw companion, which I thought would be freaking awesome to have a big killer deathclaw walking around and tanking about. But another mod was one of the ones I previously mentioned, Macho Man Randy Savage. You might say, how the hell does that get itself implemented into Fallout 4? Well, how about if you turned every deathclaw into a macho claw? I could not believe my eyes. Take a look for yourself. Oh my fucking god!
That's it, it's over. It's over. No control, brother. Man, I'm telling you right now, man.
What the fuck? He talks like Macho Man! What the fuck? Where did he go? What is happening? What the fuck? Oh my god! Relax, Macho Man. Roar. Follow me. Roar, roar, roar.
That's it, it's over. It's over. No control, brother. Man, I'm telling you right now.
Oh my god, I've never been here before. This is fucking hilarious. So yeah, after a few minutes of hysterical laughter, I set out with my Macho Claw companion, who proceeded to pimp slap the living crap out of everything around me while spewing out some of the very famous pro wrestlers' catchphrases from over the years. It was pretty damned hilarious and awesome at the same time. Another cool mod, Lightsabers. That's right, that weapon that's synonymous with Star Wars, the Jedi, and the Sith is now available in Fallout 4 in multiple colors, but I'll be honest here, they're incredibly overpowered. So I immediately departed for the Glowing Sea along with my Macho Claw and a few other companions, by which I ran through destroying pretty much everything that I came up against with 1 to 2 hits of these incredibly overpowered melee weapons. Pretty awesome if you're a fan of Star Wars, however, obviously not too fair when it comes to the fact that it deals insane damage. The gorilla that I mentioned also was available in the game as a companion. He doesn't really talk, he walks around and smacks things. He was pretty cool, standing right outside a sanctuary, but I didn't really use him because I had a giant mutated Macho Man at my side. But now let's get down to business. Boobs. Big, heaving titties. That's what everyone wants to know about. Let's talk about it. Yes, I installed the mod, and I'll be honest here. 9 times out of 10, I did not notice any kind of a significant difference in breast size in the females of Fallout 4. However, when I walked to the Red Rocket truck stop and ran into Kate, I was like, holy crap, now I noticed the difference. So then I ran over to Good Neighbor to see our resident crooning woman over at the bar, and yes, hers were significantly larger as well. So if you're that kind of person that absolutely needs to see big heaving gazongas in their video game, you can get them in Fallout 4. However, no nude mods on console. Sorry everyone, you're gonna have to go into the PC version if you want to see that naughty stuff. Another cool mod that I tried out was actually having grass and foliage grow across the land of Fallout 4. Now, I did not get a chance to really fully explore this, but just running around a little bit, I did notice, wow, grass on the ground. It looks interesting. In fact, I actually drew very strong parallels to The Last of Us, because it kind of looks like that kind of environment, all those things being overgrown by nature again. That's a really cool one. I actually noticed there were multiple different ones that had to do with grass and foliage coming to the wasteland and to the Commonwealth, so you might want to check those out out for yourself. You can also get a brand new radio station or two. I noticed a few of these, and I actually tried out one that I think was called like WRWC or something like that. Had its own unique radio DJ, and also had brand new music, and it was all kind of old-timey classic music. I'm not going to play it in this video for copyright reasons, but it was quite entertaining, quite fun, and it's awesome to have brand new radio stations, especially if you're a huge fan of Fallout 4 and the stuff that you've been doing was kind of getting played out. Check it out, those are kind of cool too. The final mod I had a chance to check out was a hidden alien base in the glowing sea right next to the site of a plane crash. It looked really cool, and I ran up with wide eyes, excited to check this out, and immediately got insta-killed. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the alien base is the most overpowered, difficult thing in Fallout 4 right now. All of these enemies here can pretty much insta-kill you unless you have insanely high energy-resistant armor, which I did not. So I had to do a lot of quick saving, a lot of loading as I went step by step through the base. Admittedly, and unfortunately, this is kind of buggy. A lot of the aliens ended up getting stuck in the walls, and after I finally did kill all of them, all that really you found here was a ton of kind of generic loot, lots of ammo, power armor pieces, and new alien blasters that are, by effect, the best weapons in the game because they can insta-kill any enemy with only 1 to 2 shots. And by the way, thousands of rounds of alien blaster ammo for anyone who maybe was using the alien blaster during their Fallout 4 run and ran out of ammo and didn't modify it to use some other kind of ammo. You can finally find some new rounds here. So it was cool to check it out. Unfortunately, it wasn't full-fledged. It certainly didn't feel like it was polished or anything that Bethesda would have put out, but it was really cool to experience, and it was fun to run into at least once. So overall, my 3 hours in the world of modifications in Fallout 4 was a fun run. Was there anything there that completely changed the game, made it incredibly better or anything like that? Not really. Most of it was just kind of silly fun at this point. I could certainly see now that people are getting their hands on these mods that they may go to town with them. Bethesda is really awesome for being a game creator that lets you mess with their games and create your own stuff and kind of wield it and turn it into other stuff. I would definitely see, with 2 gigs of file size available in the future, people crafting some pretty awesome stuff. Entirely new towns and cities, maybe even some campaign-style missions, who knows? It's awesome when you have that kind of creativity and when the game creator allows you to do it and doesn't shut you down. So, Fallout 4 mods, right now, they're pretty limited, but they're pretty fun as well, at least if you want to make the visuals of your game look a little bit different and feel like you're maybe getting a refreshed experience for a second run through the game. It may be your cup of tea. For me, I enjoyed checking them out, but unless there's something that's really of note or really hilarious coming up in the future, I don't know if I would return to them, but I certainly liked running through them at least once. Well, that's it for my look at the Fallout 4 mods on the Xbox One, everyone. I certainly hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider giving it a like here on YouTube. If you check the video description, you'll find lots of stuff, including a link to my raw gameplay of me checking out the mods in Fallout 4. If you'd like to get a more full-fledged experience, give it a click and check it out on my gameplay channel, DSP Gaming. In addition, you'll find links to my Amazon Associates account, as well as my Patreon at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time here on KO Gaming.